Co-National Director of Scouting with NLI Scouting. Yesterday we talked about what kind of questions to ask college coaches when you're talking to them on the telephone. We're going to talk a little more about that today. With me today is Addison Potts. She's a 2022 basketball prospect who attends Impact Basketball Academy. She's also a verbal commit for the Missouri Tigers. She was offered this as an 8th grader and has been talking to college coaches since 7th grade, many different programs nationwide. I've gotten a lot of questions about, well, my son or my daughter is a 8th grader or a 9th grader. They're not allowed to talk to college coaches until September 1st of their junior year. So how are they speaking to college coaches? We're going to go over that today. It is true that there's NCAA bylaw that prohibits coaches from making contact with prospects until September 1st of their junior year. However, prospects can openly communicate with coaches on their own by initiating that communication. So how is that done? Normally what happens is either a mom or a dad, especially if that parent is a coach involved in the prospect's recruiting process. It could be people like us, it could be a high school coach, it could be a travel ball coach, whatever the case may be, but that phone call is arranged through a third person where the prospect calls the coach at a specific date and at a specific time. And then a normal conversation ensues and there's no limits to that conversation and what kinds of questions can be asked. You gotta remember, especially as a D1 prospect, D1 schools identify prospects way earlier than D2 and D3 schools. And because of this, phone calls and certain other things happen to move along this recruiting process. If you are a prospect who has a skill set to possibly be a D1 athlete, this recruiting process has to start at a much earlier age than other divisions. It is common, not uncommon, for this kind of stuff to happen. Many kids are talking to college coaches as 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. As Addison can attest to, and she's going to shed a little light on that here in a little while. Many don't like this, but it is what it is. It's the nature of the game, and it's not going to change. So we're going to shed some information on that today. Addison, how are you doing this afternoon?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Hey, can you tell us a little about Impact Basketball Academy here in Sarasota?
Well, Impact is a basketball academy, mainly focuses on basketball. There's other sports, but just in this building, it's just basketball. So we go to school for not as long as like a normal school. So we'll go to school, then we'll have basketball training, then weight training, then another basketball training, which will be for like individual skills. We also have a team practice too. Okay. So it's basically that, and then most of us stay here, or like, because we have a lot of foreign students here, and some people go home if they live here.
Okay. Now, I mentioned that you're a verbal commit to Missouri. You received that offer your 8th grade year, correct?
Yes.
Before that, how many other programs had you been talking to?
I've been talking to, well, I had one offer before Missouri, and I was talking to like maybe 4. Okay. Like local Florida schools.
And how many offers, including Missouri, had you received before verbally committing to Missouri?
8.
8, okay. And just to reiterate to everyone, when you were receiving these offers, you were late 7th grade and 8th grade?
Yes.
Okay. And it's not unusual for that to happen, especially with a kid that's a D1 projectable prospect, correct?
Yeah.
And do you know a lot of kids that have also talked to college coaches before their junior year on the telephone?
Yeah.
Part of the process, correct?
Yes.
Okay. When you were talking with the coaches, did you have a plan, at least in your own mind, when you initiated a conversation with the coach on your own? Did you know what you were going to say to her or to him when you began speaking to them?
At first, no, but as I went along, I learned that I would have like a notebook and I would have some questions written down to ask them, and it would just be like some coaches, they'll make you feel comfortable.
Right.
So it's not that bad once, after the first one, it's not that bad.
Yeah, the first one you're probably pretty nervous on.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you recall if they asked you any questions specifically? Like, was there a common question that all coaches asked you when you were talking to them at all, or was it different for every conversation?
It was different.
Okay. If you had any advice to give prospects in the same boat that you're in right now, who are talking to college coaches as 8th, 9th, even 7th graders, what kind of advice would you give them to be successful?
I would just say, like, know about the school. Like, my dad would always make me research the schools before I talk to them. Like, know about the college coach, know like how long they've been there,
right?
Like stuff like that. So just know like facts, just in case they ask you anything.
Right, you're kind of doing homework on that school beforehand, so you have to waste conversation talking to them about that. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Addison. Just to reiterate, guys, like we talked about in yesterday's video, you got to know how to communicate. Okay, it shows confidence in yourself, and that's a very important factor that college coaches look at when they're trying to recruit a girl or boy to play at the next level. I hope this information helped. Continue to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you out there soon.